In an embarrassing blow to the Duchess of Sussex's relentless self-promotion efforts, the iconic Anna Wintour has definitively slammed the door on Meghan Markle's long-harbored hopes of gracing the cover of Vogue Paris after unequivocally rebuffing the royal renegade's increasingly desperate overtures and pleas to style supremo. According to sources directly familiar with the matter, Meghan launched an intense, months-long campaign to not only personally lobby Wintour, who serves as artistic director for Condé Nast, but also deploy her formidable PR teams on both coasts to make a splashy case for being granted the vaunted cover of the French fashion Bible and editorial coup. However, despite the persuasive full-court press, the notoriously icy tastemaker and power player was ultimately unmoved and denied the requests outright. Meghan has inundated Anna with calls, private letters, and gushing appeals touting her philanthropic work, public influence and Hollywood backgrounds in hopes of dazzling her enough to make the cover a reality, revealed one longtime Condé Nast insider with close knowledge of the situation. But despite offering to participate in the full 360 package of podcast interviews, photo shoots, social media promotions and more, she and her teams got their final rejection last week, and it wasn't subtle or ambiguous in any sense of the word. In fact, the more Meghan amped up her pitch and pressured contacts behind the scenes at the Vogue headquarters in New York, the more cemented Wintour became in her outright dismissal of the cover girl concept. The Duchess's recruiting of helicoptered editors like Edward and Ninful to champion the move, as well as intimate salons hosted by Markle confidantes to gameplan editorial angles, also completely fell on deaf ears. Anna just gently waved away the pitch, kindly saying this cover has been envisioned for certain but ultimately finding fault with everything proposed, the insider disclosed. In other words, it was a rather brutal thanks, but no thanks, even from the usually polite standards of such exchanges. Those intimately familiar with Wintour's thought process believe the decisive cover denial likely stemmed from a few different factors, ranging from lukewarm business incentives and overly political baggage to possibly even an ideological distaste for Meghan herself based on her controversial conduct since permanently departing the royal frontlines. Above all, however, sources allege Wintour quietly expressed serious doubts about Markle's ability to truly translate into an authentic fashion and cultural bellwether beyond her niche Montecito enclave. In typical iron-fisted fashion, Anna banked heavily on Meghan's lack of pedigree and gravitas in the trend-setting world beyond draping herself in borrowed designer clothes, remarked one veteran fashion editor who has collaborated with Wintour extensively in years past. It's no secret the dame harbors deep skepticism about Meghan's legitimacy and staying power as an enduring style icon versus just another influencer mothballing what's left of her 15 minutes. The source alleges Wintour ruthlessly cited obvious business concerns over how much excitement and brand allure a Markle cover would actually generate for Vogue's Parisian flagship given her perceived marginal popularity overseas. The editor-in-chief was said to have fielded mixed data from her top researchers over whether Meghan brought enough buzz to the table versus other celebrity contenders openly campaigning for the cover slot. The Emmanuelle Macron and other First Lady types of the world would absolutely crush Meghan as a draw for those discerning continental readers, the fashion world insider mused. And considering how poisonous Meghan remains in the United Kingdom and Commonwealth, Anna likely found zero evidence the controversial Duchess could actually boost readership across key European markets. Wintour was evidently far from alone in raising concerns over whether Markle could credibly deliver both style gravitas and bankable sales success to justify the splashy Vogue placement, especially in the wake of the PR calamities surrounding her Spotify and Netflix failures. For all the dramatic press attention Meghan desperately generates with every new brand partnership, the actual results have repeatedly exposed an injurious lack of mainstream commercial appeal beyond her hardcore base. And fashion publishers can't afford vanity covers bleeding readers like Harry and Meghan's failed companies bleed subscribers and profits, remarked Jackson Monroe, a top data analytics executive who has worked extensively with major media publications mapping audience trends. Vogue would be better off backing tween TikTok influencers and pop culture figures with proven audience conversion over such a polarizing figure with demonstrable revenue deficiencies. However, the Wintour dismissal of Meghan's ambitions for a bombshell Vogue cover may run far deeper than just dollars and cents business metrics when it comes to the Ice Queen's closely guarded cultural arbiter role. Despite years of the Duchess and her core of public relations officials aggressively courting Anna for the honor, Sources indicate the acclaimed tastemaker has frankly maintained serious misgivings about Markle's conduct and alleged litany of grievances since spectacularly renouncing her working royal future. Anna not only leads the most prestigious style platform in the world, but she has a lifelong ideological devotion to upholding our era's truest arbiters of poise, grace, discerning aesthetics, and style influence that provide fashion's vital cultural underpinnings, acknowledged one mogul adjacent to Wintour's inner trust circle and social set. By all accounts of those close to her, Meghan's particular spin on relentless self-marketing and overt desperation for fame fails to demonstrate the substantive traits and substance required for that respect. The source alleges Wintour feels even some of her contemporaries atop the fashion world's institutional ranks have grown far too charitable in embracing Meghan's attempts at buying credibility and breaking entry by lavishly draping herself in top-tier designers and styling. While Vogue itself arguably opened the doors for Markle with her 2019 guest editor role, Wintour was said to have long since soured on duplicating that partnership given the torrent of toxic press and accusations stemming from that glossy edition. Anna felt burned by that first experience, not to mention being completely put off by Meghan's growing reputation for using people, friendships and associations as expedient disposable accessories, divulged the insider. So a Vogue Paris cover under her leadership would essentially represent an ultimate, highly visible elevation of someone whose credibility and personhood she now seriously questions entirely. There's no chance she affords that kind of coronation after what she's witnessed in the intervening years. Naturally, news of Wintour's closed-door decree toward Meghan and her team quickly supercharged existing social media chatter and speculation regarding the persistent drama and allegations swirling around the disgraced former Princess of Montecito. While some segments of fandom remained firmly supportive of the Duchess's apparent snubbing by fashion's most fabled gatekeeper, others saw the denial as yet another indictment of her inability to resonate beyond niche loyalists despite endless personal branding stunts. "I'm sorry, but if you can't even get Vogue after begging and sobbing for years, you're an irrelevant Z-lister, period," snarked one commenter on the popular Halfway Royals Instagram account. Anna just issued the fashion world's equivalent of "don't let the door hit you on the way out." At some point, you have to actually have some true substance and air of authenticity beyond mere celebrity and lucrative media deals if you ever want to be taken seriously on that summit by true taste culture authorities like Wintour, quipped another candid critic. Try being more Queen Elizabeth gracious and maybe 5% less Kardashian shameless self-promotion bombast next time. Essentially left at the altar yet again after swinging for the fences in pursuit of a much-needed cultural significance reinforcement, some longtime Suffolk watchers fear the Vogue debacle sets up Meghan to further escalate her own reputation-scorched earth war on anyone deemed as having slighted or disrespected her globalist ambitions. Indeed, with Prince Harry's much-anticipated memoir Spare set to drop as soon as this fall, the hits may be coming fast and furious, with a Duchess-themed vengeance tome quickly following. All signs point to Meghan being so wounded from Anna's brush-off that she'll likely unleash the literary equivalent of a vengeful rhetorical drone strike aimed at intimidating and diminishing Wintour's credibility and integrity in some.